because she knows you're tiff with Rudy. Yeah. Her sister's here again. Pin her sister's comments, mods. Curious. What am I checking Discord for? Why do y'all do this to me when I'm live? Wait, what? What? I can't even take this serious. Have you seen people try to say your hubby murdered an innocent color man as a police? That's very interesting because I can't even. Guys, sure. If that's what y'all think, then by all means at this point. That's a hell of a I can't. Okay, I can't say that word. Okay, PDFs, y'all can say whatever you want at this point because your words. I'm going to need to see that article. Please get me that article. If my husband killed an innocent, that is defamation. How did it take this long for someone to look up? That's a good question. That's a good question. I did take a shit on a lawn. But I'm going to ask my husband. As far as I know, I don't think he ever murdered anyone, especially in the line of duty, as he doesn't have a duty. But I'll ask. It can't hurt to ask, Apparently, we don't know anybody these days. I'm going to ask just in case, because frankly, I'm not going to put anything past him. I done told y'all. I ain't no friends. Even my husband ain't my damn friend. What the fuck is wrong with these people? This is crazy. This is crazy. The family's favorite troll. Okay, let's just jump into this other thing. Who is she? Mods, why are you not pinning the sister's comments? I would like to read them. Background checks are a must. Did everybody get their background check done? Yeah, we're going to restart. Shout out to the LEO wives out there. I am not an LEO wife, but I understand that it's a spot to be in. I do get it.
I'm getting off.
Regina, if you don't mind me asking,
I'm gonna go change my diaper, okay?
Why are you here? And I want everybody's credit score as well. If you could go ahead and just put that all in, your background check, credit score, get that submitted. I just can't have anyone here that's just risky at this point. I was dragged on this app accused of DV on my husband. Really? You act like I was there when everything happened to her. Happened to her? I believe you're addressing that wrong. Happened to her. It can't, unless there was the fact is that that's not how the evidence added up. Police don't just let people take charges, okay? Now, what I will say is one of my parents was, who knows, an officer of the law. And I did actually F the police at a time in my life, okay? So, for about a decade. And I do know that they would not allow you to just take a charge, and they're not going to waste resources on swabbing your buccals. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I've been reformed from the time when I was effing the police. Okay. I'm a different girly these days. They're not going to do that, honey. This is just not, like, I get it. At this point, I gave her an opportunity to tell the truth. She lied straight to my face. She's still continually lying. Like, if you're welcome to be in here. You're welcome to be in here. And as her sister, I understand that this is hard for you. I get it. I do understand that this is difficult for you. What I will say is we can't come in here and defend the actual adult who was not just 18, not even 19, not even 20, but 22 years old. Okay. So at that point in time, she has to be held accountable. She was above drinking age. It doesn't matter if that's your family. What if she did that to your kid? What if she did that to your kid's friend? Because then I have to judge you on the fact that you're defending her. Would you take your kids and their friends around her? That's just not like that. That's not it. That's just not okay. Don't harass her and call her those things in the chat. We don't do that here. That's not what we do. This is not to bully. It's to bring awareness, because being on this app, there are children on this app. There are teenagers, mostly teenagers on this app. And if you committed this type of a crime, and what I'm going to read tonight, you are a danger to those people. And I am not going to pretend that this didn't happen. I liked Homebody. I liked her a lot. Even when other people, even you can ask my mods, even when other people would say, you did too much, like she does too much, she's going a little hard, I think she's saying this about you. I still defended her. So this is not about, oh my God, I took my opportunity to shred her. That's not true. I didn't want this to be true, but it is. And I can't pretend that it's not. So as someone who was just her internet friend, I will say that I get, as your sister, this is difficult. But I even gave her the opportunity to say that that is her sister. I have even given her the opportunity to say, it was a mistake. I had bad judgment. You know, I'll take my stonings and go on. But you don't get to come on this app and talk about other people as mothers when you did this to somebody's child. This is a crime against a child. I can forgive a lot of things. I can forgive rug charges. I can forgive petty theft. I can forgive big theft. I can forgive a lot of things. Crimes against other humans like this, against babies, against children, a teenager cannot consent. I have literally seen people in my comments defending Homebody and saying, well, I don't think he was traumatized if he was 16. Would you be saying that if it was Santos or 2K and they got with a 16-year-old? No, you wouldn't. If it was a grown man, you would not. This is not acceptable. That boy's Smek's life has been changed for the rest of his life because of this. You don't know or understand the trauma of that. He didn't know what he was doing. It's clear by the way he described it. And this is your first time hearing all of this about the charges. Well, then please listen. Nobody else bullied Regina. She wanted it to stay hidden, Regina, and that's why. When you hear this, you're going to understand. Also, Regina, could you clarify for us, when was her brain injury that she had? I would appreciate the clarification on what year that happened or what age. And I'm sorry that this is how you have to hear it. It is unfortunate. She pled down. That's why she didn't have to register. So it's very typical, which it's super shitty, but it's very typical that you were young when it happened. You don't know, though? You never were told what year? I would be interested if anybody talks to her. Homebody, if you're in here, let us know. What year was your brain injury? So it's very typical that if it's your first offense of something, you can plea down. That means that it is what has happened here was the first time it happened usually, and they put you on probation, blah, blah, blah. And so then it doesn't show up as exactly what it was. That's why it says battery. I have no proof that there was a brain injury or surgery. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. So let's just get started on this. Obviously, I cannot put this on the screen for ticky-tacky reasons. I'll get it redacted and posted, whatever. We'll figure it out. So, it says incident number, nature, SMEX, offense. That's the nature of it. SMEX, offense. All right. On 6/20/2014, at approximately, so this is going to be a little bit of a repeat. This is going to be a little bit of a repeat of last night because it's just a bigger version of it, pretty much. On 6/20/14, at approximately 0459 hours, that's 4:59 a.m. if y'all aren't aware, I responded to blank, the basement apartment, to the report, the basement apartment. So that means, remember, mother-in-law suite is what she said. We're going to compare. I'm going to read this whole thing out so I won't quit. I won't stop. Oh, it is on the screen. Oh my God, y'all are all yelling at me. Oh my God, sorry. I'm so sorry. There's nothing on it yet. It's okay. Breathe, people. It's going to be all right. That was only one paragraph. Lower it. This is a serious matter. I'll move it back down in a minute. I can't even find my thing right now. Oh, there we go. Well.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boys. Good boys.
I gotta stop getting off. I'm gonna go change my diaper, okay?
Y'all are grounded. Y'all are grounded until after I finish reading the report, and then you can come back. You would have been 11 when all this happened? Okay, Regina. So, all right, I'm going to read the whole thing, then we'll watch the video, and then we will compare everything. All right. So, this is the officer. I responded to blank, the basement apartment, to the report of a SMEX offense. Dispatch advised a 22-year-old female, Heather Sitko, had been caught having SMEX with a 16-year-old male. Upon arrival, I was contacted by the complainant, blank's mother. Blank told me shortly before the time of the call, she had walked into the basement of blank through a sliding glass door. So this is going to be more detailed. Through a sliding glass door and immediately saw her son, blank, on top of Sitko on the couch. Didn't she say a bit? Okay, we're going to compare that. The couch the two were on is immediately visible from the sliding glass door. Blank said Sitko had made comments, so blank as the minor. This is the sentence that I want you all to pay attention to. Blank said Sitko. Let me put it this way. The child said Sitko made comments the day before that the child would be fair game once he turned 18. Actually, I think because it's blocked out, I'm wondering if the mother said Sitko made comments the day before that the child would be fair game once he turned 18. The mother indicated Sitko meant the child would be fair game to have SMEX with once he was 18 years of age. So either the mother said this or the child said this. Either way, this was said. He was fair game. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds premeditated. I do believe. She said that out loud. I then spoke with blank, who was wearing a black t-shirt and black sweatpants. Oh no, so that had to be the mother because he was talking to the mother. So she literally said that out loud where the mother could hear. That's crazy. That's crazy. I then spoke with the child who was wearing a black t-shirt and black sweatpants. The minor said he was fishing with Sitco earlier that day and they returned to that residence to watch a movie that night. The minor said he was on the couch with Sitco and she had her legs on his lap. The minor said he was rubbing her legs and then she asked him, "Do you want to have smecks? You know what I'm saying?" Yeah, it does sound like a date. The minor said, I was like, sure. The minor said Sitco then took off her shorts and he took off his sweatpants. The minor did not have on undergarments. Sitco did. The minor described Sitco's short as black Nike brand shorts. After Sitco removed her shorts and the minor was undressed from the waist down, the minor said she started whacking me off. I clarified that so gross. I clarified that the child meant Sitco began to manipulate his eggplant with her hand. The minor said that was correct. I asked the minor what happened then, and he said Sitco was on her back, and then he tried to have intercourse with her by saying, I was trying to get it in, and I kept trying, and she said, spit on your hand. The minor indicated he then spit on his hand and applied that to his eggplant and then inserted his eggplant into Sitco's pocket. The minor said, I had the tip in. I clarified with the minor that he meant he had the tip of his eggplant inside of Sitco's pocket. The minor said that was correct. The minor said this was when his mother walked in through the door. The minor said he never had any intercourse or romantic contact with Sitco before the incident. The mother said when she walked into the residence, the child got off of Sitco and was on his knees on the couch. Sorry, y'all, all the names are blocked out, so I'm trying to read it. She then began yelling at. The mother said she then began yelling at Sitco, what the fuck are you doing? The mother was very angry with Sitco, however, said she did not hit Sitco. The mother said Sitco got dressed and begged her not to call the police while she left. So she begged the mom not to call the police. Blank also lives at blank. I don't know who this is. Oh, so this must be the cousin. Remember the cousin that supposedly called the police because Sitco had been raped? The cousin also lives at blank. So the cousin must have lived with. These were her best friends. Must have lived with. I don't care if people are streaming me. I think there's so many cousins involved in this. It's okay with me if y'all are streaming me. I just ask that you say who I am so that if people want to follow me, they can. But other than that, I don't care. I want this to bring awareness. You don't have to gift me. You don't have to sub. This isn't about that for me. I just think that somebody who did something like this with a teenager shouldn't be on an app where teenagers are very, very prevalent. Even if that's not the fan base that they are after, that means that it is still. It's just not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. Too many people don't watch their kids' online activity, and this could be dangerous. So I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. But yes, y'all can stream me. I don't care. You can clip me, stream me, whatever you want to do. I'll also post this later so that y'all have it. Oh, anyway, so the cousin also lives at blank and said she had received text messages from Sitco after the incident. I photographed those text messages on blank's cell phone. Those photographs were attached to the case file. Blank told me she had received third-party statements that Sitco was feeling smooshmidle. She lived with me and my parents. Wait, I didn't see it. Somebody tell me what she said. Tell me what she said again. She lived with me and my parents, but we're not home most of the time. Interesting. I wondered where she lived. I photographed those text messages. Okay, she did that. So the cousin told me she had received third-party statements that Sitco was feeling smooshmidle. Other officers had already attempted to locate Sitco. Okay, so do y'all hear this? Other officers, so when you're just going to take that charge, you're the hero. You're the hero. You're just going to take that charge, right? Other officers had already attempted to locate Sitco and had been unable to at that point. Officers made attempts again after I relayed the information about Sitco possibly being smooshmidle, but they were unable to make contact. Kathy Sitco, Sitco's mother, later advised that Sitco was home and okay. Corporal White responded to my location and provided me with distilled water and 2 cotton swabs. I then went to the bathroom of the residence and provided the minor with 2 cotton swabs that had been wetted with 2 drops of distilled water. The minor swabbed the tip of, in this kid had to do this in front of this cop. So let's, you said you were raped, which is one thing. This kid was assaulted, though you may not see it that way, then had to be reassaulted to be able, and like some people may not see it that way, but he'll never forget this. That is my issue that you're not understanding. He will never forget this. He had to have his part swabbed. He got to do it himself, but he had to have another grown man watch him. You know how violating that is? Violating. Even as an adult, I don't like people having to, like in the doctor's office. He was violated twice within hours. So the cop had to watch him swab. I'm sure you guys, please don't be mean to Regina. So this is the same thing as you think of Brian Koberger. His family had nothing to do with the choice that he made. Regina has only heard the story that the woman is 22 in this story. Regina has only heard the story that her sister has given her. So there is no need to be rude or mean to Regina, okay? At this time, she has not heard this police report. She is hearing it with you. I then collected those swabs. It should be noted while the minor was applying one of the swabs, a small amount of clear fluid came. Okay. So stuff came out and it was swabbed. So his DNA was taken as well. Sorry, I'm not going to read that. It should also be noted the minor said he did not, I can't say this word, finish during the incident with Sitco. So how awkward for this poor child that he involuntarily had what we as adults would know is stuff coming out. And that had to be done that happened in front of another grown man. Like, but you didn't do anything wrong here. You're the hero. You took the charge. You just don't get it. This is, yes, please take note that this is breaking her sister's heart. That is her mom's name, and she is an adult. It was not redacted in this. If her sister would like me to not say her mother's name again, I won't. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. You're correct. I should not have done that. It is not their fault. So I do apologize for that. And I will make sure that her name is redacted out of the thing before it's shared. The swabs remained in my possession, and I took them back to the Lewiston Police Department. Once there, I placed them in a foam holder to air dry. Blank, I was adamant that she wanted to pursue charges during... Oh, the mother was adamant that she wanted to pursue charges during my contact. The minor stated the incident was consensual as far as he was concerned, and no force was used to get him to have intercourse with Sitco. I won't, Regina. I do apologize. I will not say it again. Investigation continuing. End of report. Law supplemental narrative. Supplemental narrative. This was on August 19th, 2014. So this happened on, what was the day this happened on? June 20th, 2014. They were not able to get a hold of Heather until August 19th. So an entire month she avoided this, but she went right in. Remember, it was just a few days later and she took the charges. That was what she told us. That is the issue here, is nothing lines up. So she had time to make up her story. I was able to make contact with Heather Sitco on 8/15/14 by telephone. I scheduled an interview with Sitco on 8/19/14 at 1:30 p.m. On Monday, 8/18/14, Sitco left a message for me and stated she was leaving the area for Seattle for medical testing for 2 weeks. Huh, interesting. Seems like we always want to revert back to this medical stuff. I will be contacting Sitco in order to interview her and reapply for the DNA detention order. At this time, this case is still under investigation. Doesn't she have charges in Seattle or Oregon? I don't know. Do we need to find that out? I'm sick that there are people that are still supporting her. Regina did not hear all this yesterday. Nobody else had this. This is not, nobody had the full thing. What did you just say? Aren't you a nurse? Please do better about reading and name dropping. First of all, this doesn't pertain to nursing. This would not apply to HIPAA in any way, shape, or form. The victims are redacted, which would be the only people that have to be redacted in this. The minor is redacted, which would be the only people that have to be. I have done nothing wrong. I am only respectfully not going to name drop the mother because the sister asked me not to. Just to be very clear with you. Do not ever talk about me as a nurse, because that has nothing to do with what I'm reading. Thank you. You should also, it doesn't take a nurse to know these things. You should know this. It's important for you. So on 9/30/14 at approximately 10:15 hours, so 10 a.m., I was able to make contact with Heather. So this was in September 30th, y'all. She pushed this off. Thank you for subscribing, everybody. Sika told me she was currently in Oregon and was not planning on being back in the LC Valley until the 20th of October. So she ran. I have contacted Heather several times, and every time I have contacted her, she has not been available to conduct a face-to-face interview with her. She just thought this was going to go away. I told Heather I wanted to get her side of the story in this incident. Heather told me she knew what I was talking about, referring to an incident with, because I was getting bashed left and right yesterday. I told Heather I wanted to get her side of the story in this incident. Heather told me she knew what I was talking about, referring to an incident with the minor. Heather told me all she remembers of that evening was going fishing and returning home. And when she returned to blank, she took, this is weird, she took 2 Klonopins, 1 milligram pills. she took 2 of them. She told us she just took 1, that her friend gave her 1. Pills that she was not prescribed. So she told us, who's Caitlin Clark? I'm going to need you to tell me. So this is what she told the police officer. She said she took 2 Klonopins, 1 milligram pills that she, and I also want to look that up, what the common dosage of Klonopin would be for someone her size, and see if that is an accurate amount. Was she just doing rugs? I look like a basketball player? Hell yeah. According to Heather, she thought she had gone to sleep on the couch, but the next thing she knew, she woke up to blank screaming at her. She then left and did not even know she drove to Jamie's house. I confirmed with Heather that she had no recollection of this event. 1 milligram at most, I would think. That's what I'm saying. We didn't usually give that in the hospital, so I'm not sure. I need to clarify that. We got any psych nurses in the chat? Any psych nurses? Any doctors? Any doctors in the chat? Anyone on the Klonopins in the chat? So she took a lot. It's a pharmacy tech and nursing here. It's a lot if she does not take them, especially for her size. We'll just, okay. Now, she did have 2 months to figure out this Klonopin story. So, I'm just saying, 2 months. Thank you for that subscription. Sorry, I had to take a bite of my bar over here. And not those kind of bars. A good, tasty energy bar. Meds are not the same for anyone. They work differently on everybody. Different sizes work for different people. That's why we have milligram dosages, and everybody would be prescribed something different. The fact is, yes, I will reread it. She was not prescribed these. She said she was drinking as well, and she took these. If this is true, she was actively doing rugs. That does not mean that she is innocent in this. She took rugs in the home of somebody else with their children there and was out of her mind. If that's the case, it's not a defense. That is still a child. Also, it's premeditated. She said to the mother the day before that he was fair game while she was sober, not on a Klonopin, the day before. Fair game, baby. Maybe that's why she took the Klonopin, so she could not be too worried about that age limit. That wasn't me. Who said that? Who said that? Wasn't me. I don't know who that was. Wasn't me. Somebody else. Was that you? Okay. She said, let me reiterate for you. According to Heather, she thought she had gone to sleep on the couch, but the next thing she knew, she woke up to the mother screaming at her. She then left and did not even know she drove to Jamie's house, whoever Jamie is. I confirmed with Heather that she had no recollection of this. She had schmecks with the minor. Heather's response to that was she did not believe that happened because a girl would know. So wait. A girl would know. So this is how I know you're a fucking liar. Okay. Oh, that didn't happen. But also, I was on 2 Klonopins and I had gone to sleep. No idea what you're talking about. I was just getting yelled at. I ain't got no damn clue. Girl. Yeah, I'm not impressed with the mother in this, that she allowed her to stay. But I think it appears by Facebook post that they were family friends. She does have only 1 kidney. She was born with only 1. So she was born with only 1 kidney. So she knows actively, and said before that on her other charge, she took a charge for somebody for a pill. But then this time she took 2 Klonopins, even though she only has 1 kidney. But she conveniently, when she was saying, hey, I don't do rugs, and I took a charge for this other person, that she doesn't do them. But this time, which is after that charge, after that possession charge. Yeah. Also, I'm sorry, but when I was 16 years old, I never told a boy spit on it. And I never had a boy spit on it. So that to me is a very adult suggestion. Yes, she has a record, a full record. She guided that child on how to get it inside. No 16-year-old would have the bravery to say or do something like that. They're just not in that mindset. I mean, seriously, the nicest person, a hero, if you ask me, took a grape charge, took a possession charge. Don't forget, she takes care of her stepchildren. The bio mom is horrible and abandoned her stepkids. But she's also very, very quick to say y'all are all doxing and harassing veterans. Except she fails to mention that when the bio mother abandoned those kids, she's actually in the military and she was deployed. But that's just an extra little tidbit I'm dropping in for you. All right, let's get back to this. No, her mom did not call the cops. The child's mom called the cops. So, ooh, we love corn. So be careful when you're watching someone. I mean, that's how she manipulated me. She made me believe that we had the same situation going on. And like we bonded over the fact that we were stepmothers with kids who had been through some shit. And then to find out all that was a lie too is you're just a shitbag. Anyways. Yeah, and then they wouldn't give the kids back. Anyways. Yeah, this lady is not a saint. The hero that she wants to pretend that she is. She had no recollection of the event. She told me that was true. I told Heather what was being... Wait, hold on. She then left and did not know she drove to Jamie's house. I confirmed with Heather that she had no recollection of this event, and she told me that was true. I told Heather what was being alleged, that she had intercourse with the minor. Heather's response to that was she did not believe that happened because a girl would know. I told Heather she needed to make herself available to contact me when she returned from Oregon, which she believed was going to be on October 20th. I told Heather I was wanting for her cooperation in obtaining a DNA swab from her person, not a grape kit. Not a grape kit, a DNA swab. She liked this kid, y'all. Why do you think yesterday or whatever day it was, he was a good kid? He was a good kid because she had feelings for him. Ooh. I told Heather if I was unable to gain her cooperation in getting the DNA swab, that I would have no other option but to detain her in order to collect it. At this time, this case is still under investigation. October 2nd, 2014, on 10/2/14 at approximately 10 a.m., I returned a phone call to to Heather's mother. During the phone conversation with the mother, Heather's mother, she asked me if Heather... Oh, wait. Oh my God, I haven't read this part yet. Oh my God. Yeah, she ran from being swabbed. Y'all, she fabricated so much. She didn't even say this to the police. On 10/2/14 at approximately 10 a.m., I returned a phone call to Heather's mom. Heather's mom, during this phone conversation with Heather's mom, she asked me if the minor was going to be arrested and charged with grape. I told Heather's mom this was the first time I had heard of grape. And this is the first time I heard of the minor being the suspect in this case. According to the mother, Heather was unconscious during the time of this incident and was awoken by the minor's mother yelling at her. And Heather's mother believed that the minor had raped Heather. Bro, did this chick tell anybody the same story? Anybody? Literally not one person. Not the cousin she texted, not her mom, not the mom of the boy, not the police, not us, not herself, not her husband. Good bless. No, because she literally said in those text messages to the other person that if her parents found out about that, they'll hate her. So why would your parents hate you if you were raped? Why would they hate you if you were raped?